Chapter 9. Verse 1. When God's visit was over and the hosts were notified, the Lord held a banquet that lasted 2 days and nights. During this time the angels sang, danced, and played trumpets before God. Afterward, God and his hosts boarded the ship, ready to continue their journey. The Lord and his hosts went up to the ship to bid farewell. Verse 2, God said, "When Dan approaches, we shall meet again. May Jehovah prosper your harvests until then." Verse 3, the Lord responded, "That's another 100 years. O God, I almost dwell in a wilderness. I have fewer than 10 million souls, mortals and spirits." Verse 4, God replied, "Your kingdom shall be mighty when I return. May it glorify Jehovah." Verse 5, they embraced and separated, each giving the sign of Jehovah's name. The ship of God ascended with outstretched banners, newly adorned by the Lord's angels. The ship sped westward over mountaintops like a meteor hurled from heaven, with trumpets sounding the solemn march of God. Verse 6. Before the ship had completed half its journey, an approaching light appeared from the far west, radiant and filled with hosts from the Lord of Dis and the Lord of the earth. Verse 7. As the ships neared and halted, God called with a loud voice, "In Jehovah's name all hail! I know my Lord comes." Verse 8. The Lord answered, "Hail to thee, O God, Son of Jehovah." The Lord's ship turned and lashed together with God's as they sped onward. Verse 9. After exchanging greetings and good wishes, the Lord said, "Before we reach my central throne, let us survey the continent over which I am Lord of land and water." Verse 10. God agreed, "Thy will be done, O Lord." They journeyed for many days, often descending to places where the Lord's angels had established colonies with mortals, teaching them speech and village life. Verse 11. God saw that all was good and well done. They then arrived at the Lord's throne and stayed for 60 days. Verse 12. During this time God, his hosts, the Lord, and his Ashars and Asaphs reunited in prayer, song, dance, and discussions on Jehovah's works. The experiences, excursions, and visits made over plains and mountains could fill many books. Verse 13. The mathematicians foretold the rise of great cities and nations, battles, ruins, and rediscoveries in the Cosmon era, where man's spiritual insight would reveal ancient histories through great Jehovah's guidance. Verse 14. Prophets and mathematicians, following the Lord's commands, presented these wonders to God, Son of Jehovah. Verse 15. God said, "What is our service on earth, O Lord? In a few centuries we will rise, taking our hosts to higher realms. After us, new gods and lords will manage mortals and newborn spirits. Eventually darkness will envelop earth, as man prefers idols and rejects great Jehovah." Verse 16. The Lord added, "A brighter light awaits. Great Jehovah will guide traveling worlds into the Cosmon light, where lost histories will be uncovered. Even our works will be seen by mortals then." Verse 17. They continued their discourse, reflecting on the past, future, and present, while less informed angels gathered to learn about the vastness of Jehovah's universe. Verse 18. When it was time for God's departure, he and his host boarded the ship, while the Lord and his angels gathered to receive God's parting prayer. Verse 19. God said, "Though I depart, my love remains with you all. O Jehovah, bless my fellow laborers and grant them strength to endure their trials. Yours is the power and glory, O Father. Amen." Verse 20. As the ship rose, the trumpeters sang, "Glory to thee, O Jehovah, forever and ever."